Revenge films.
My name is Thomas Henderson, 30 years old. I have a wife and a daughter who will be turning 8 years old this year. The company I work at gives an average salary, but I have to stay and work unpaid overtime every day until the last train. I don't have any days off, and I haven't been able to spend any time with my family. Then one day, as usual, my boss suddenly instructed me to go on a business trip, and I was upset as I got on the last train home. When I got home, it was already 1 o'clock at night, but the light was still on to my daughter Kelly's room. Did she forget to turn off the light? I thought as I walked into her room, but Kelly was still awake and looked like she was practicing a dance. Kelly? Why are you still awake?
Mom said I have to do this dance step at least 100 times a day or else, so...
100 times? I see. But it's already 1 a.m., you know. You need to go to sleep today. Don't you have school tomorrow? Kelly was going to a dance school, and I was touched to see that my daughter was working this hard and practicing so passionately. I was motivated to work extra hard for my family as I tucked Kelly into bed. Don't you think you're being a little too Spartan? If you're going to make her practice until this hour, surely that's not good for Kelly's growth.
Huh? What are you saying? If she doesn't work hard, she's not going to pass the idol group auditions that we secured next month.
Sarah was trying to make Kelly famous, and for that, the majority of our expenses were spent on Kelly's various lessons. And believing that this was for Kelly's future, I had agreed.
You really are so mediocre. You don't have any skills or talents. You realize that's why you have to work at such an underpaying and overworking company, right? I'm giving that girl some tough love, so that the same thing doesn't happen to her.
You don't have to say it like that, though. Plus, there's no way it's fun for Kelly if she's being forced to do it.
Yeah. It's pointless for a mediocre person like you to say anything. I'm going to make that girl a star no matter what. And if you're going to get in my way, I don't mind getting a divorce.
Saying that, Sarah disappeared into the bedroom. I knew that her love towards me had dried out long ago, but I still believed that she had more love than anyone towards Kelly, until that moment. A few days after that, I was working hard on my business trip, and 3 days had passed since I left my home. That day, a meeting with a business partner was cancelled due to their scheduling conflict, and in a very rare occurrence, I was able to go home while the sun was still out. When I opened the door to the house, a shockingly hot gust of air drifted out. At first I thought that maybe in the middle of the summer, if you don't open any windows, it can get this hot. But when I walked into the room, the heater was on. And in the corner of the living room, Kelly was lying on the floor. Kelly, what's wrong? Hang in there!
Daddy, help me. It's so hot.
With those words, Kelly lost consciousness. I called her name multiple times, but she wasn't responding. I panicked and called an ambulance and had her taken to the hospital. During that time, I tried to call Sarah's cell phone, but I couldn't get a hold of her at all. The results of the test at the hospital were heat stroke and malnutrition. Luckily, because I discovered her early on, they said it didn't result in anything major, but the doctor said if I had gotten home any later, I was getting nauseous at the thought when Kelly opened her eyes in the bed.
Dad, is that you?
Thank goodness. Kelly, what on earth happened? And look at you! You're so skinny!
Mom said I needed to go on a diet, and she locked me in.
Sarah did?
I'm going to get yelled at by Mom again. I don't want to be hurt again.
Whilst calling it a diet, she had put the heater on full blast and left the room in a sauna-like state, holding our daughter hostage. Kelly was completely at her wit's end, and with tears streaming down her face, she told me all about the terrifying training that her mother had put her through until now. If she was a little bit late coming home from school...
You're late. I told you to be on time, and yet you're still 5 minutes late, you idiot.
I'm very sorry. I was on cleaning duty today, but I ran as fast as I could to get home.
Yeah, I don't want to hear your excuses. As a punishment, 50 crunches. Also, did you memorize your lines that I gave you yesterday for the interview?
I am very sorry. I had my homework for school. I have half of it memorized, though.
Are you kidding me? That promise was that you would remember it completely, right? Give me your arm.
she would apparently hit Kelly on her arms, her legs, and her back with a metal ruler until she would be able to memorize the lines. I held Kelly's hand as she spoke, shaking with fear, and when I rolled up her sleeves, there were painful-looking scars across all of the places she mentioned. Kelly, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You didn't do anything wrong, Dad. Because you're always working so late, I wanted to become famous so that I could help you even a little bit.
At the same time as my anger boiling inside of me, I also felt incredibly pathetic that I was such an incompetent father, that I let my daughter get to this point.
Mom is out with a teacher from the dance school. Those days, she usually comes home around 10 o'clock at night.
Well then, if I go to the dance school, will she be there?
I think it's a building called Las Vegas Night, because I'm always coming home from there by myself.
When I looked up Las Vegas Night, just as I expected, I discovered that that building was in fact a love hotel. Since there was no more love between me and my wife anyway, it frankly didn't matter that she was having an affair. All I had was anger about her treatment towards my daughter. And so, that night, I waited for the two of them outside of the love hotel. The two of them looked in high spirits as they skipped out of the front doors, and I clicked the camera shutter on them. Sarah must have been shocked to see her husband suddenly appear in front of her eyes, as her eyes were wide open, and I shoved the divorce papers in her face. I thought about waiting until Kelly got older, but...
I would still be fighting a divorce at any point. The teacher said he'll get together with me at any point anyway, and I'm not going to give you custody, by the way.
In this situation, who's talking?
You think you're going to be able to gain custody when you're always working and you only come home to sleep? And plus, this teacher is a well-known famous trainer.
Kelly's very promising. I look after her. That's for Kelly to decide, isn't it? As I said that, two women in suits and Kelly came out of a car that was parked nearby.
Kelly? What happened to your training?
Training? You call collapsing from heat stroke and malnutrition training? Are you stupid?
Collapsed?
Kelly, your dad and your mom have decided to break up. Which one do you want to live with?
Divorce is a very standard thing for celebrities. It's a great experience that's going to make you stronger, honey. Now say goodbye to your dad.
Goodbye. Mom!
What? Kelly? Are you sure you can complain like that?
As she said that, I could see the anger in her eyes as she stormed towards Kelly, but the two women in suits intervened in front of her.
I am from Child Protection Services. And I'm from the police. This time, we would like to ask you a few questions about the multiple scars that we have observed on Kelly's body.
Police? Scars?
After hearing the two women's identities, Sarah became paler by the second. Before I headed over here, I had actually called Child Protection Services. I would like for you to see for yourself the scene of abuse involving a child being held hostage and left alone in an extreme temperature room, and had asked them to come all the way here.
Kelly, was it your mom that hit you? And was she the one who also left you alone in that room? Yeah.
Come on, I just left her at home alone for a little bit.
Do you like your mom? Is it fun living with her? I hate her! I hate my mom!
Kelly?
Sarah must have finally realized the situation she was in, and she fell to the ground on her hands and knees. And next to her, the teacher looked like he was about to run away at any moment. So the policewoman grabbed his arms to make sure he didn't go anywhere.
You are under arrest as an accessory to child abuse. We need you to come with us to the station.
Are you kidding me? What are you going to do if I lose the trust from the dance school? This has nothing to do with me!
Don't lie. You're the one who said she needs to tighten up her body a little more. That's why
I never said that, you stupid woman! Please, I'm begging you. I swear, I have nothing to do with this.
I have been looking after Kelly all this time, you know? You need to say something. You're my husband, aren't you?
Ex-husband. I suggest you don't speak too much. It might extend your prison sentence.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry!
With tears streaming down their faces, Sarah and the teacher got down on their knees on the street outside of the Love Hotel, apologizing. but they were taken in by the police for official questioning. After that, the divorce was officially completed, and I was able to get full custody of my daughter. Sarah was arrested and is currently still being tried for child abuse and neglect, but she was ordered to pay the settlement fee for the affair as well as child support fees. And while going through court, she's running around 3 part-time jobs and is living a hard life. Similarly, word spread about the teacher having an affair with one of the married moms and was let go from the dance school. He was forced to pay back a very high monthly tuition, as well as the settlement fee to me for the affair. And I heard he's carrying a large debt as he's working without any days off. I wanted to increase my time with Kelly, and I changed jobs. I'm struggling to find my rhythm in the new environment, but I'm enjoying my job much more. We moved back to my parents' house, and Kelly has gotten both her smile and her health back. From now on, I look forward to protecting her growth, right by her side.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.